Where is it? I asked you a question. A blade was pointed at a rugged man with blood spilt all over. He looked like the biggest hobo of all time, certainly in a terrible condition. The girl who pointed the sword at him was the disciple of the Sword Supreme. On the battlefield, she shows precise attacks, striking down countless people without receiving a scratch. She was able to slay countless demonic humans in one attack. She was Divine Blade Wi Seol Ah, the one who slayed the heavenly demon. She was the one who crushed the great Orthodox demon war. She grabbed our homeless friend, demanding where the demonic humans went. She had anger towards him and wondered if he still had guilt, and he knew, but his vocal cords were destroyed. On his heart laid a bind that prevented him from voicing it out. She had a tear flowing down her cheek, saying last chance. Everyone wanted him dead, but if helped, she would save him. She started to break down and begged him to tell her. He wondered if it was for the hatred of demonic humans she couldn't capture, or it was Jang Seonyeon, whose fiancé was kidnapped by demonic humans. He began to laugh, how the strongest person on the planet was anxious for one man. She caught on to his laugh and threw him onto the ground. These two must have had the same special past together, as if she knew he was this evil she would have killed him. She regretted not doing that, and he wondered when she thought they had met each other. It was different from what he remembered. He was thinking about her giving him a potato on the streets. He was a traitor who sided with demonic humans, while karma caught up to him. He got into a position and brought out his index finger, and she asked what he was doing. His heart was beating quickly, and he spat out blood. He used the blood for an attempt to write something, and remembered if he broke the conditions, his heart would explode. The heavenly demon's demonic art to never betray the demon cult. He couldn't hear her anymore, and she wanted him to stop writing. He was framed, but not out of his own will. He continued writing, and fell onto the ground with many excuses. She looked at what he wrote and was mortified, because his heart started to explode. He had a little ounce of life left and wondered why he lived this kind of life. He remembered his sister holding his cheek, wanting him to be happy. Then, someone with no eyes apologizing in front of his face. Seola was calling out to him, but was going through his last memories. Next, a blue-haired girl asked if he was crying, but he said it was just rainwater. She asked if the moon rose, and he confirmed it had, which made her happy, leading her to lay limp within his arms. Gu Yangchun of the Gu clan lived as a regular martial artist until he betrayed them for the demonic side. The demonic side lost the war, and Yangchun was tortured until death. "Do you want potato?" said a young girl. He was confused about what he was doing on the streets and not in hell. He was sure he violated the heavenly demon's prohibition, leading to his heart exploding. This led him to die in Seol Ah's arms. He grabbed his heart, knowing it was beating normally, as if he didn't die. He realized from his small hands he has become a younger version of himself. He asked himself if it was the first time he was meeting her. He remembered in the past he slapped the potato out of her hand and then decided to crush it with his feet. He felt superiority over her and wanted her to learn her place. But this time, he grabbed the potato from her, while she shyly looked away. He smiled, thanking her for the potato. He ate it and wondered why it felt hot in his mouth, while she laughed, saying he turned all red. Behind our main characters, someone called out, "Young Master." There came his bodyguard, who was looking for him. His name was Muyon, and he was worried if something bad would happen without him present. His tongue had a burn mark, and the potato was on fire, and the bodyguard was about to unsheath his sword, but Young Chun told him to not. He asked for a honey cookie the bodyguard might have and snatched it from his fingers. He offered it to Seolaf, and she asked if it was truly for her. Her mouth was watering, as it was her first time eating one. Someone yelled, "We ah!" from the crowd, and her grandfather ran towards them. He didn't want her to let go of his hand, but she thought it was fine as she got the potatoes. He was inspecting if she was injured or if she caused a ruckus. He realized this person was important. Meanwhile, Seol-ah pointed at him, saying she gave a potato to him. The grandfather bowed down, saying his granddaughter was ignorant and to forgive her for committing an offense. He said it was fine, and he was the one expressing thanks. Then he clamped his hands together, saying she just gave him a potato when he was hungry. The only reward was a honey cookie. And before the grandfather could say something, Seol-ah was fine with it. as it was sweet and shiny. Before she got it, the grandfather grabbed her and ran as he couldn't disturb him anymore. He called out to the elderly, and if he was hungry to take it out on him, but put the cookie in her hand. Seola's eyes were shining at the cookie, but the grandfather smiled as they finally found him. The elder was the person who held the position of a leader for the Muram Alliance in his past life. He was one of the 3 Supremes which were the strongest in all of the Muram, spreading fear. He was the Sword Supreme Wee Hyogun. He wondered what he was doing in a place like this. Seol waved her hand signaling by, and he was happy nothing went wrong. He was finally at his palace, and he had an awkward face. He didn't know why his dream wasn't ending because he should have woken up by now. It wasn't a dream and may have been related to the heavenly demon's curse. He was looking the other way until someone said, "Fascinating." There stood Flamesword Gu Yonseo. It was his second oldest sister and the one who despised him the most. The reason everyone gathered was the clan head was coming. She came near his ear and told him to screw off as he was going to do something nonsensical. He was only there because he had to be, but he hasn't shown his face in one of these events before. He admitted it was his fault and would apologize later, which made her mad. She yelled his name and decided to activate some fire technique, as with every step the arena broke. She assumed he was going to play a trick and wanted to stop it. She was beginning to get angry at his antics. She was going to say more, but he told her father was coming. The clan head riding a horse asked what the commotion was. The next chapter, everyone was bowing on their knees and the clan head looked at them all. He asked for the 3rd child to meet him in his room by himself. This caused his stomach to drop, asking for digestive pills. In the palace, it was quite empty, but there were tables of food. The meal atmosphere was the same as ever, and he was scared of not knowing how to eat food anymore. The situation was uncomfortable and wanted someone to do something about the atmosphere. The patriarch called to the 2nd child and asked about her achievements in martial arts. She had a small enlightenment and became a 5-star a few days ago. She was complimented on how she was advanced for her age and how devoted she was. It was impressive, and it was because her talent was high and she worked hard. He learnt she knew how to smile and noticed she looked better smiling, but took it back after her creepy glare. Nextly, he was called about being on the streets, but nothing more came after, and he decided to leave first so they could eat, but he thought his father would say more. He remembered his father wanted him to see him later. Then, a servant called to him. She told him to rest well and meet the clan head tomorrow. He was pondering over him not waking up, so it's not a dream and it was regression. He started tensing his fist up, wanting to kill the heavenly demon, but it was an absurd statement that could be stopped instantly. He didn't think he was able to kill him, as he was able to kill all 3 Supremes said to be above the heavens. When he lived as a demonic human, he would always be underneath him to survive. This led to many regrets, and with these regrets, it taught him several things. If he was reborn, he wanted to choose a new path. The heavenly demon would be killed by Seola, so the cult would disappear, meaning he could live a quiet life. But it was an opportunity to not repeat his regrets from his past life. First, he began putting strain in his body to activate a golden core. He searched his whole body but found little internal energy. He recognized how incredible his sister was to be a 5-star and only 1 year older than him. He was able to train with the cultivation technique only his bloodline possessed. It was the GU Flame Wheel Art. When he becomes a 4-star, he would be able to emit flaming internal energy, and when 7 stars, he would be able to wrap his body with it.
Unfortunately, his current state was the lowest of them all, a 1-star. He needed energy to become a 2-star and wouldn't borrow demonic human powers for his lack of skill. He decided to increase his own power by expanding his inner energy, but he was exhausted as it took a huge toll from his body. He might face energy derivation from gathering too much internal energy. His face had hope as he was able to become a 2-star. He would go for a different life and wouldn't do anything stupid that would have a negative influence on his future. The next morning, he woke up with pain just from training for a brief second. It was his fault for slacking until now and would visit his father's room after getting some fresh air. He was questioning if he should train but spotted a cute individual. Seol-Ah was there and greeted him with a smile.